I'm gonna take advantage of a little bit of sun that we got out there today. I had ordered a bunch of navy blue shirts for a project that I ended up not doing. What I'm doing here is I'm getting my outline. As you can see, I just folded a piece of paper in half so that I could try to measure where the middle of the shirt is. And then I come down about 4 fingers. I go to the middle with my outline. And then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come down just a little tiny bit. I eyeball this and I go back and forth several times before I make up my mind that it's in the correct spot. To me, that's just a little bit over, so I need to come over just a little bit. Everybody is going to see this differently, I'm sure. Okay, so now that I have my outline, I'm gonna go with flour and the brush. And this is just one of the techniques that I use for this in particular. So I just lightly go around with I lost my tripod. Honestly, I do not know where my tripod is. It would be so much easier if I had that. So I just go around, I just make an outline, and it doesn't have to be perfect because this is gonna be tie-dye. It's gonna be sprayed with that SEI paint spray. And so it just does not have to be perfect. So then I get rid of all this flour. I usually just dump it on the floor because I sweep the floor anyway. So here is my outline. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bleach this first. Then I'm gonna go in with the spray paint to make it look like a tie-dye. Then I'm gonna go in with an image. So that's what's going to happen today. I'm going to bleach the whole shirt outside, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so this is where you're gonna be able to see why a good spray bottle is so important, because that spray bottle that I've been using has really been acting up for me, and I have some new ones somewhere. I just gotta find them, but I'd be out here all day long spraying this. So I went and I got a little jar and my paintbrush, and I'm just gonna do it with my paintbrush because it's not going to bleach the way that I want it to with that spray bottle. So it's easier just to come out and get this over and done with. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect because we're gonna go over it with tie-dye paint. But I do want a nice outline to be able to show in the background. They're lightening up really nice. And also you can see the difference in the technique. You can see the difference in the technique with the paintbrush versus just the spray. This is all that overspray, but with the paintbrush you get a much finer line. And I threw a purple one into the mix. I had to go out into the yard to get some rocks because it was starting to get a little windy out here. It's blue. I'm going to dye, but I'm gonna hold on to them for a later time. Just gonna put them aside. So in case anybody wants a Grandma Bear or Mama Bear t-shirt, that's what I'm gonna use these ones for. And the purple one, it's gonna be the same type of technique, only with a different design, and that one's gonna be completed today. You'll be able to see that one. Okay, so I'm real happy with this bleaching process. I'm gonna call it done, even the purple one. Because the object is just to lighten it up so that it takes the spray paint, so that the spray paint is more vibrant on the white background. So now I'm going to fold this white part in and scrunch it. And because I don't have a tripod, I can't show you the process, but I'll explain it to you when I come back. So all I've done is I've gathered that, see, we're playing peekaboo, inside, tuck it all in really nice, and there's a big strong wind coming, and now I'm going to scrunch the entire shirt. Just gonna do this. And I'm going to spray the outside. And I have back to my old spray bottle here. Just gonna spray it. It don't matter. Don't matter how it works for this part of it. And spray it really good. The part of this shirt that is going to bleach is going to be the part that we dye with the spray paints. As soon as we're done with that, I open it up so that the sun can get to it. Beautiful day here in Grand Rapids, Ohio. I think it's going to be like 78 degrees today or something. And I just got done setting up all my stuff to come out here and paint these shirts, because there's just the right amount of breeze that's blowing out here. This one's going to be completed yesterday, because this is the next day now. You saw me bleach all the shirts. I had to make my outline, which is just the size of this 8.5 by 11 paper method. Now I'm going to go back in and I'm going to paint using these neon Psy paint. I don't know if it's Psy, if it's C, how that's pronounced, but these paints are what's going to go on here. I'm going to try to cover up all the white bleach spots, and then they got to dry. I'm going to let them dry out here, and then the next process is to press them, because that's how the dye remains on the t-shirt. It has to be heat pressed, so you can either use an iron, or in my case I have a heat press. You got to remember to shake them. And I am wearing gloves because this paint can be kind of messy. You never know how it's going to come out. It's like out like in a circle. That's what I mean about not really knowing how the spray paint is going to come out. I really like this yellow. It really pops. I'm tired of that yellow bottle. I'm telling you what. Let's see how this one sprays. So this is quite the little process here, you know? I mean, you have to go through and paint. You don't have to, but you don't have to go through and paint every white spot that's on here. I try to, but you do not have to. Each one of these spray bottles sprays different. They're kind of a pain in the ass, really. Okay, I had to get a brand new yellow because that other yellow was just driving me insane. That's how it was shooting out, little spurts like that. All right, so then here, we're just gonna go in, just gonna show you how I go in and just color different. Go in with my colors. So, this is how we start filling the colors in. It don't gotta be perfect. I like that blue. That blue is really pretty. Put some blue in here. It don't take much if you have a nice spray bottle. The spray bottle makes all the difference in the world. This can be kind of, you know, time consuming. This is what I mean when a spray bottle makes all the difference in the world. Look at how easy that is to go through. Just spray that all up. I'm not trying to make this shirt all one color, but I really just want you to see what a difference a good spray bottle makes. So I done did half the back of that shirt blue. Let's change it up a little bit. And then you come in here and you get paint bottles like this. I really need to write the company. I'm going to do a short video, write the company and tell them they need to do better than this. realized it with the very last shirt that I had to do. But I realized that if I just hold the bottle upright, spray in the air, the stream came out probably like it was supposed to. So yeah, so that's the trick. Hold the bottle straight out in front of you. Looks like I got a little bit of orange, but here's what I mean by hold it upright. And the wind is kind of taking some of it and blowing it back in my face. But look at the difference. Just look at that difference in the way that spray. And I don't know if I'm getting that on video. The sun's kind of in my face. But look at, yeah. So that's how it's supposed to work. I'm just going to show how I press one of these t-shirts. They've all dried out in the sun, and I've got my bottom plate covered with paper, and what I'm going to do is go through and press all four corners of the shirt. And this is a really important part because that's how you set the dye into the shirt. And you can either use a heat press like I have here, or you can use a regular iron. I would just put it as high as your iron would go, but my press is set at 300 and we're pressing for 25 seconds. You do want to remember this paper. It's very, very important because you do not want to get the dye on your upper plate. That's your heat. That's where your heat's coming from. You don't want any of this dye to get on that upper plate. And now what I'm going to do is just do the other top portion of the t-shirt. Then I'm going to flip it around and do the bottom. The larger shirts can be a little bit more trickier, and you may have to do it in a portion of 3 because there's just more material. Bottom half. Okay, now that I've done all 4 corners, this is going to go into the wash. And then I'm going to go on to the next ones. One thing I wanted to make mention is after pressing this, you really notice the softness of the t-shirt as opposed to when it's still has that dye freshly on it. It just softens up after you heat it. So one more shirt and then we're all done. Okay, like I said in the beginning, we were going to put a design on this one here. And now I'm just waiting for my temperature to get back up to 400 because I had to reset it. So we put the sublimation design on at 400 degrees for 60 seconds.